What's up, family and friends? How are you? Welcome. And also to this live broadcast, I welcome you and encourage you to join me as usual. Today is going to take a while, so because it's a Bible study. I want to study the Bible with you. I want to go through that Judges, the book of Judges, chapter 19, chapter 20, and chapter 21. And I want to show you how crazy God and his tribes are. And it's still affecting everyone that believe in that God and his tribes in the Bible today. They are so delusional and hallucinating that you can't help but laugh out loud. Because, of course, once you believe the Bible, you know, you can believe anything. You can believe anything. If you believe that a serpent spoke and donkey spoke, you can believe anything. You are a believer, you are a sheep, you are not a human being. In other words, you are brain dead. Your brain is not working. Good morning. But it's still evening here. It's 11:19 p.m. So we still have about 41 minutes to go for us to be morning. But whatever it is, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. So you must fall into one of those. So this is Bible study. And join me because we're going to go through it. And you see how crazy that God is. All right? Because you're welcome. Ha, 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 ha. Remember, whenever you hear them saying that maybe a donkey spoke or something, that's to show you that they stole that idea from Africans. In your village today, if you're an African, you know that our people convey messages or say something with animals. They can tell you a tortoise says so, 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 and another animal replies so, so, so. A tortoise say he will become the king of all the animals. Then the lion did so, so, so. So that's how they stole it, you know. But the problem they had is they put it as though, they put it and they make it the word of God, the God they tell you cannot see. But it's ridiculous how our people still believe that nonsense. Any God you cannot see, now, today, does not exist. We are the gods and goddesses that exist. How is that too hard for you to get to buy? Buy it. And you buy it free of charge. I'm not asking you to give me a dime. I'm not asking you to give me any amount of money. It's something you use your common sense to buy. You cannot see God. I tell you, you cannot. Even your relations that have been believing in that God before they died, none of them have come back and tell you, okay, I have seen that God. This is our God. But you believe over your dead body, we see God. Wake up, man. Wake up. Any God, I don't care about the name of the God. Whatever that God is to you, if you cannot see that God now, that God is dead. That God does not exist. That God is useless to you. Very useless. Judges 19. As Igbo people will say, Ndi Ikpe. Judges, Ndi Ikpe. Genesis, Leviticus, Deuteronomy. How many of you know how to recite Bible when you were growing up? Yes, I know how to recite it from Genesis to Revelation as Anglican boy, as a religious boy. So I grew up with the Bible because that's what my parents forced me out of ignorance and fear to accept as the word of God. But I'm now a grown man. I know that the Bible is not the word of God. And anyone that believes the Bible is word of God should go and check his brain. It's not working. If God is what they say God is, you don't need any book to know his will. When you require the will of anyone, it means that person is dead. Okay, so if you say the Bible is the will of God, check. Okay, Judges chapter 19 is talking about the Levi's concubine. Is concubine and the wife the same thing? I want to ask, because Christians don't believe in having a man having concubine. But a concubine is, or like what American we call as a mistress to a married man, or what African Nigerians are calling like side chick today. Okay, but according to Bible, married men have concubines in the Bible. Abraham, the father of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, he had concubines, according to Genesis chapter 25. You can read it. So now where I'm starting with this story of the Levi's concubine. A Levite that had a concubine is not the Levi's wife. Levi's concubine, a Levite, a man of God, a servant of God, a priest of God. He had concubine in the Bible. But today, when you mention concubines, Christians will tell you nonsense. They tell you, no, God is against it. Anything God allowed in the Old Testament, God will still allow today, and God will still allow tomorrow. In other words, you say your God does not change. If a Levite had concubine in your Bible, it's not evil, it's not bad for a man like me or a man like another man to have concubine. It's not bad. Yes, I can have concubine. I can marry multiple wives. It is not wrong. It is no one's business. It's the business between me and my wives and concubines. Okay? You get that? Okay. So for you, those of you that still have he's going to hell in your mind, remember, I used to be in hell. It's called Christianity, and the factual truth delivered me from that hell. So I cannot go back there. I crossed the bridge and bombed it down. Not just burn it, I bombed it down. That a great curve between me and hell. I cannot go to hell. I cannot go back to hell. I'm in heaven right now. My life is heaven. So this concubine, they say that from verse 1, he said, and it came to pass in those days when there was no king in Israel, so no king and no God. He said, when there's no king, and there was a certain Levite staying in the remote mountain of Ephraim, for he took for himself a concubine. He took for himself a concubine from a concubine in Judah. I mean, from Bethlehem in Judah. Amoro anyị onye nzọpụta na Bethlehem in Judah. So that's where Jesus was born, according to what they say. In the land where a man can take for himself a concubine, Jesus did not have a girlfriend. Jesus did not have a wife. To show you, Jesus is a gay. I mean, he was gay. But the truth is this: Jesus never existed. But according to that character they played, that character was gay. Because you can't come from such place and not have a woman. Possible. They marry young virgins. When I mean young, like 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, 13 years. You cannot live in such area and tell me you don't have a girlfriend and you don't have a wife. You just live your life and die like that because you are a son of God. The same God that impregnated your mother. Nonsense. If a God pregnant your mother to have you, so you're supposed to be having sex with a woman. But they tell you that nonsense in the Bible. He said, but his concubine played harlot. Remember, they're showing you what the concubine did. They won't tell you what the man did before the concubine played the harlot. You see, so when a woman sleeps with another man, they call her harlot. But when a man sleeps with another woman, everybody become cricket, you know. They say he cheated on his wife. Nonsense. Nobody call a man a harlot, you know, for sleeping with another woman. But when it's woman, because Bible was written by men who hate women, men who don't want women to rise, men who invaded Africa and wanted to erase goddess. They just want God, no goddess. They say there is one God, there is gods, but they cannot tell you about gods, goddesses, or goddess. They just meant, because that's male chauvinism. So Bible is book based on male chauvinism. Okay, so his concubine slept with another man and went away from him to her father's wife. So the woman, instead of being with the man, I think it's a wise woman. She went to her father's house. She went back to her father's house, which is a wise thing for that woman to do, right? Okay, she was there in her father's house for the whole 4 months. 4 months, according to verse 2. Then verse 3, then her husband arose and went after her. At least the man still loved her. The man did not say, okay, I'm divorcing you or I'm killing you. The truth is that this love does not die. No matter how you say, love does not. Remember, we're doing Bible study, so I'll be saying a lot of things as I read on. I'll be saying things, both the one you like to hear and the one you don't like to hear. But my main aim is for those of you that are still asleep to wake up, and those of you that are waking to be emboldened. Don't be afraid. Just speak what you know and stand by factual truth. So the man went after her concubine to speak kindly to her and bring her back. You know, when he went to speak, you know, don't worry about the past. You know, don't worry about that. Just come back home. So the man taking his servant and a couple of donkeys with him. See, so he provided a car for himself and for his wife. So because they're going to pick her up. Then she brought the man into her father's house. You see, that was a nice woman. She knew her family and she respects her family. She respects her people. She don't say, oh, it's just between me and my husband. Blah, 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 blah. No, as some are doing today. Now his father, he was glad to meet his father-in-law. Now his father-in-law, the young woman's father. He's a young woman or not old woman. Of course, every man must go after a young woman. He will have, even his old woman, he may have, anyway, old woman will not do what this young woman do. So when you marry a young lady, you know, it's supposed to be, you know, supposed to be up in your games, because if you deny, if you are not able to provide her anything, there's other men that is there to help out. So you have to. So his father-in-law detained him and he stayed with him 3 days. So that's good, father-in-law. So they ate and drank and lodged there. Then it came to pass on the 4th day that they arose early in the morning and they stood to depart. But the young man's father said to his in-law, refresh your heart with a morsel of bread and afterward go your way. So they sat down and the 2 of them ate and drank together. Then the young woman's father said to the man, please be content to stay all night and let your heart be merry. And when the man stood to depart, his father-in-law urged him, so he lodged there again. You see, there's another weakness. Good night, Dennis. Another weakness some men have. They are not men of their words. Anybody can persuade them to change their mind, anything. You want to go, you are an adult. Somebody talk you to stay. You stay, and you see the consequences. If you are a man, say something and mean it. If you say I'm leaving tomorrow, leave tomorrow. Don't listen to whatever they will tell you. That's what you're supposed to be listening to yourself. And some people that fall into this is like people that believe in maybe somebody have anointing or somebody is this or what the Bible said. If they give, if they ask you, give, all that. No. Be a man and woman of your word, especially a man in a place called Africa. You're supposed to be a man of your word. They may disagree, they may not like your decision, but it will register in them that you are a man of your word. And when you say something, stand. Start with your family. When you say something before your wife, before your children, before your parents, stand your ground. Let them know you are a man now. You can say something and stand by it. And not behind you when somebody says something about it. They say, don't worry. We will make him do it. We will tell him he will do it. If you go to my parents today or anyone that knows me, say, oh, Cher, we want Cher to do today, we tell you, go talk to him. He's very stubborn. Of course, I'm stubborn from my mother's womb, not from God, from my goddess. My mother is my goddess and my father is my God. So from there, that's been from my father's loins into my mother's womb. I have been stubborn, and I was born in this world to be stubborn, and I like being stubborn. Anytime I suffer temporarily, no, because I refuse to be stubborn. But when I'm stubborn, it works out fine for me. It doesn't matter who is angry. So he lodged again, verse 8. Remember, I'm reading Judges 19 now. Then he arose early in the morning on the 5th day to depart. 5 days now. But the young man's father said, please refresh your heart. So they delayed until afternoon, and both of them ate. And when the man stood to depart again, he and his concubine with his servant, his father-in-law, the young woman's father said to him, look, the day is now drawing towards evening. Please spend the night. See, the day is coming to an end. Lodge here that your heart may be merry. Tomorrow, go your way early so that you may get home. You see, now the man supposed to listen, at least is getting late. Then you have to stay. Since you have been agreeing with your father-in-law, you have to continue agreeing. If you refuse, something will happen. However, the man was not willing to spend that night. After 5 days, now you want to show you are a man. You have been showing that you are a boy, but now you want to show you are a man. Okay, you will see the consequences. So he rose and departed and came opposite Jebus, that is Jerusalem. With him were the 2 saddled donkeys. His concubine was also with him. They were near Jebus, and the day was fast spent. It became a dangerous journey, all by his decision. The decision he would have taken earlier, he took it late. Now it became a dangerous, what was supposed to be a smooth journey became a dangerous journey. So they were near Jebus, and the day was fast spent. And the servant said to his master, don't put yourself in the position where somebody that don't supposed to talk to you begin to talk to you. Somebody that don't supposed to give you advice begin to give you advice. But hear what the servant say. Servant that have common sense, say, come please, and let us turn aside into this city of the Jebusite and lodge in it. Then see a racist. That man is also a Levite that is a racist. And you see many ministers, especially white ministers, they are still racist. They think God chose them. White supremacy. They still believe that nonsense. Even the black ministers, they think God chose them. You know, others are their servants, their subjects. That's also racism, whatever you call it, or hierarchy. But his master said to him, we will not turn aside here into a city of foreigners. He saw them as foreigners. He don't believe if foreigners can give him hostility. He don't believe foreigners will treat him well, and he's a Levite who are not of the children of Israel. See, they are foreigners and they are not of the children of Israel. We will go on to Gibeah, where the children of Israel are not these people. They are foreigners. It's still going on today. Verse 13, so he said to his servants, come, let us draw near to one of these places and spend the night in Gibeah or in Ramah. And they passed by and went their way. And the sun went down on them near Gibeah, which belongs to Benjamin. The sun went down because he refused to listen. He refused to go in among strangers to get security, of course. Then tomorrow morning early, you get up and start going. But they condemn them. They are not children of Israel. They are not choosing ones. You know, we don't know them. Okay. Verse 15, they turned aside there to go in to lodge in Gibeah. And when he went in, he sat down in the open square of the city, for no one would take them into his house to spend the night. The foreigners would have taken them into his house or their house for them to lodge in or to spend the night. But the people he called the children of Israel, the people of God, they rejected him. They rejected them. He hoped he expected for them to show him kindness. Of course, they know the law. The law says you should be kind to your brother, your fellow Israelites. They could not, take them into their house to spend the night. Verse 16, just then an old man came in from his work in the field at evening, who also was from the mountains of Ephraim. He was staying in Gibeah, whereas the men of the place were Benjamites. When he raised his eyes, he saw the traveler in the open square of the city. And the old man said, where are you going and where do you come from? He said, so he said to him, we are passing from Bethlehem in Judea towards the remote mountains of Ephraim. I am from there. I went to Bethlehem in Judah. Now I am going to the house of the Lord. See where he's going? He's a Levite. He's going to the house of the Lord. Okay? Then, although we have bought straw and fodder for our donkeys, and bread and wine for myself, for your female servant, and for the young man who is with your servant, there is no lack of anything. So the man have everything they need. All he needs is where to lay his head until morning. The old man said, peace be with you. However, let all your needs be my responsibility. Let all your needs be my responsibility. God cannot supply your need. He's your fellow human being. No God can meet your responsibility. No God can supply your need, as they tell you. Only do not spend the night in the open square. So he brought him into his house and gave fodder to the donkeys, and they washed their feet and ate and drank. Now hear what happened. As they were enjoying themselves, suddenly certain men of the city, perverted men, surrounded the house and beat on the door. They spoke to the master of the house, the old man, saying, bring out the man who came to your house, that we may know him carnally. In other words, that we may have sex with him. They wanted to fuck the man in the ass. That's what it means. Say, bring out the man. They did not say bring out the man and his wife and the servants, or bring out the strangers. It is simple. They were specific. Bring out the man that we may have sex with him. That's what they said to the elderly man. So maybe they saw the man in the day, they said, this ass, we're going to fuck him. They don't care. So they were homosexuals. And they wanted to rape this man, not kill him. I will still come to the contradiction. But verse 23, but the man and the master of the house went out to them and said to them, no, my brethren, I beg you, do not act so wickedly. Remember, this man is going back to the house of God. And now these homosexuals came to rape him. God have not done anything yet. The God himself is still dead. He does not care, okay? I beg you, do not act so wickedly. It's wickedly to fuck your fellow man in the ass. There is vagina for you to fuck, not anus, not ass. Seeing this man has come into my house, do not commit this outrage. Look, here is my virgin daughter. That man is stupid, though. There's nothing that will make me to give my virgin daughter for the rapist. I can never do that. I'd rather die than do that. Yeah. But this man offered it. You know what they can offer anything. They want to protect man. The woman is nothing to them. The people that wrote this Bible, they don't value women. They don't. All of them. He said, here is my virgin daughter. Remember, Jephthah offered his only daughter to God. So I want you to understand that the God of the Bible hates women. the God of the Bible. And if you believe in the Bible, you see your attitude towards women will be so negative. It will be so bad. You may come in the public, say you love them, you love it. When the way you think and the way you treat women in secret is different, because Bible influence you to be against women. Let me bring them out. That's the man's concubines and the old man's virgin daughter. He offered to bring them out for them now. He said, humble them, molest them, rape them, and do with them as you please. You see, if you want to kill them, that's old man doing this. Say, kill my virgin daughter. I mean, do with my virgin daughter whatever you want to do. And this woman, this concubine of this man, leave us men alone. 3 men in the house with 2 women, right? Now they are offering the 2 women to these evil people to molest, to do whatever they please. But to this man, do not do such a vile thing. But you can do vile thing to women, not to this man. But the man will not, the man will not listen to him. So the man took his concubine and brought her out to them. The man they called, remember, it is the man they need. But the man now push his concubine out. And they knew her, you know, men now. They already have erection, so they're looking for, okay, is women, they can't break down the door. So they do what? They knew her, that means they have sex with her, or they rape her and abuse her all night. That they rape her all night until morning, all night. You know what that means? And they must be young men. And you know, if you are young, when I was young, when I sleep with a woman all night, whether in the hotel or in my house, you know how many times I will go. Now imagine men going on one woman from night till morning, all night until morning. And when the day began to break, they let her go. Then the woman came. Remember, these people are wicked also, these 3 men. And that Levite, you push your concubine to men to rape or to have sex. You're supposed to be alert, waiting to see when they finish. Maybe you take your wife back. But it seems like they have already given up. They will kill her. See? Then the woman came as the day was dawning and fell down at the door of the man's house, where her master was till it was light. Nobody opened the door. Nobody checked. They didn't hear any noise. At least he came at the door. Nobody opened. Her husband, the husband's servant, and the man that is hosting them, their host. Verse 27. When her master rose in the morning, he just opened, rise in the morning to go. He doesn't even care about okay, where is my wife? Is she alive or dead? And opened the door of the house and went out to go his way. It's your Bible, not me. It's not my interpretation. There was his concubine. The man, all night, he did not check whether the woman may be coming back, but he just get up in the morning to go. Maybe we say maybe that's how God wants to punish her, because she played harlot before. He played harlot before. I went to get her back. Maybe it's God's way that she will not go with me. Now this man have taken her. Let me go my way. So there was his concubine fallen at the door of the house with her hands on the threshold. And he said to her, get up and let us be going. But there was no answer. So the man lifted her onto the donkey, and the man got up and went to his place. When he entered his house, that man have a heart. I cannot do this nonsense this man did. I cannot do that. He said when he entered his house, he took a knife, laid hold of his concubine, and divided her into 12 pieces. He butchered this dead body of his concubine. That's where you see people learning all this, killing people and dismembering them. Put them in the, how do they call it, that bag in America here? Trash bag. and dump them in dumpster. A man had the heart to butcher, dismembered his dead concubines in pieces. It happened in America here when people cut up their loved ones in the house so that they wouldn't know that they killed them and put them in the freezer. And they'll be there for many years, but after people will find out. And divided her into 12 pieces, limb by limb, and sent her throughout all the territory of Israel. God was watching all this while. God never do anything. The God you say cares and loves you. The God that he said, but Christians will say, if God allow it, is God's will. There is a reason why God allow it. And you know what they will tell you? That's why it's put in the Bible for you to learn. No, that's ridiculous. God's supposed to stop the men from raping that woman or even coming to that house. And God's supposed to stop also this man from dismembering his dead body, dead wife's body. Okay? And so it was that all who saw it said, no such deed has been done or seen from the day that the children of Israel came up from the land of Egypt until this day. He said, consider it, confer, and speak up. No such thing. It never happened in the land of Egypt, where they claim they came from. It happened in their land, among them. Egypt is the Holy Land. Israel is not the Holy Land, according to the Bible. Are you getting it? He said, such thing I have not done. Never is heard of. Never heard of in Israel, among the children of Israel. Now, chapter 20. So all the children of Israel came out from Dan to Beersheba, as well as from the land of Gilead. And the congregation gathered together as one man before the Lord at Mizpah. Mizpah. Verse 5. It says, and the men of Gibeah rose against me. I mean, the man began to tell the people of Israel what happened. I think from verse 4, say, so the Levite, the husband of the woman who was murdered, answered and said, my concubine and I went into Gibeah, which belongs to Benjamin, to spend the night. The men of Gibeah rose against me and surrounded the house at night because of me. Now the man lied. This Levite lied. Just as every person that gives testimony in any church or in any religious place lie. They lie in their testimonies. And I've warned you, don't believe testimonies. Whether it's one testimony or two testimony, don't believe in them. Stop believing any testimony. They are lying. There must be lie in that testimony. Don't believe it. And if it is half truth, it's a lie. So don't believe those lies. You hear what he said? And the men of Gibeah rose against me, said, hear the lie, the man lied, said, they intended to kill me. It's not true. They never intended to kill him. They intended to have sex with him, not to kill him. Do you get that? That's what the men said. The men said, bring out the man that we may know him carnally. That's what they said. They did not say, bring out the man that we may kill him. No, say bring out the man. But you know, we say that was the same God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah for. Homosexual, they wanted to sleep with the angels. It's a lie. Number one, you're supposed to know it never happened. Sodom and Gomorrah's story never happened. It never happened. So if you believe that God, right, punished Sodom and Gomorrah for trying to sodomize the angels or visitors, how about this one? How about this one? God led this man to go free. The men that came to sleep with another man, but they did not succeed, then they raped the woman to death. God kept quiet. He didn't do anything. Then he said they intended to kill me, but instead they ravished my concubine so that she died. He didn't tell them how he pushed his concubine to the men to molest. He's the one that gave that woman to them. He did not fight for that woman. He did not even fight for his life. He only just give the woman, take and go, but it's a story. So I took hold of my concubine, cut her in pieces, and sent her throughout Jerusalem and all that. Verse 13. Now, therefore, deliver up the men. That's the people of Israel wrote, that's the tribe of Israel from verse 12. And then the tribe of Israel sent men through all the tribe of Benjamin, saying, what is this wickedness that has occurred among you? Now, therefore, deliver up the men, the perverted men who are in Gibeah. At least men will always intervene, yet God cannot intervene. It is men who have risen up. Where was God? You say God is everywhere. God watched that woman molested by men, raped by men, killed by men with sex. God did not stop them. God did not care about that woman. God just let that happen. But when men hear it, they became so provoked. They wrote to they said, listen, give up those men. We must kill them. We must put them to death and remove the evil from Israel. Men taking decision that God failed to take, just to solve the problem God failed to solve, to prevent. But the children of Benjamin will not listen to the voice of their brethren. So the children, so instead, the children of Benjamin gathered together from their cities to Gibeah to go to battle against the children of Israel. Self-hate. They went to fight with their brethren. How many of you is talking about what is happening in South Africa? It's in the Bible also. What is happening in South Africa is not xenophobia, because they are not attacking white people who are foreigners in South Africa. No black man, no black woman is a stranger in any part of Africa. No African is a foreigner in any part of Africa. White man, white woman in Africa, definitely they are the foreigners. Do you see the lazy and stupid South Africans touching any white man in South Africa? No, but they were killing, I don't know if they're still doing that, but they were killing their own fellow Africans. Self-hate. Just as the children of Benjamin rose up against their own brethren. Brothers against brothers. That's what I call what is going on in South Africa. Brothers against brothers. And it's in the Bible. So they begin the fight from verse 18. They fought, okay? And then the children of Israel arose and went up to the house of God. Since the children of Benjamin has come against them now, they went to the house of God to inquire of God. A God that did not prevent the incident. You go to ask him for what? Is it not the same thing people are doing today? God did not prevent that sickness. God did not prevent that disease. God did not prevent that accident. God did not prevent that incident. And yet you saying you praying to God for what? A God that did not prevent it. A God that did not alert you about it. Why are you praying? If God prevented it, then you can say, okay, let me thank God. But God did not prevent it, and they ask you to give thanks to him. Good or bad, give thanks to God. For what? A God that did not stop these people from raping the woman. A God that did not stop these evil people from committing that wickedness. You are going to inquire what from him, but see how stupid that God is. They said, which of us shall go first to battle against the children of Benjamin? The tribes of God. You see how stupid they are. The God who you claim to be the one that chose you as his chosen people. You are asking that God now, who will go first to fight against your own brothers? Tribes of God. God is crazy. His tribes, they are crazy. anyone that worship crazy God must be doing crazy things. That's why you see people that worship God, they do crazy, they pretend. Let us pray. They pretend there is God in heaven and that God answers our prayers. And they conclude, amen. Yeah, God say he has heard me. You say, oh, I have covenant with God. Which God do you have? You are the one that have covenant with yourself. But you say it is with God. You did not see the God you have covenant with. Verse 23. Remember when they asked, what did God say to them? Huh? God said Judah should go first. That's what God said. He said, God, they asked God, which of us, verse 18, which of us shall go first to battle against the children of Benjamin? The Lord said, Judah first. Judah, for that is what God said, right? God said, Judah first. Then they went and they fell. God confirmed. God said, Judah lead you. When Judah lead you, you will be successful. That's what God said. Judah, lead them. You know, preachers used to use this place to preach, you know, you praise first. That's why they start with praise. No, they say prayer is the key. Jesus started with prayer. So they pray. When they come together, they say, let us pray. After prayer, what comes again? Praise. And it's warfare, right? Then they begin to praise. They say Judah first. They tell you Judah means praise. So Judah first. You lead with praise. Okay. They went, and many of them died that day. God said Judah should lead them. Judah led, and they fell. Then the children of Israel went up and wept before the Lord. The same Lord. You see, people keep going back, doing the same thing, expecting different results. They keep going back to God that cannot help you in your time of need. He was not there in your time of need, yet you keep going. They went there, wept before the Lord until evening, and asked counsel of the Lord, saying, shall I again draw near for battle against the children of my brother Benjamin? And the Lord said, go up against him. God sending a brother to fight against brother. God that cannot solve the problem between two brothers. God that confirm. God that allow a brother to kill his own brother, to fight against his own brother. And you're telling me when Jesus in the family, happy home is a lie. There is no happy Christian home under the sun. No single one. If there is any Christian family that you see happiness, it is those men of God that are robbing the poor. They are the one you can see, but they are not happy. Because they cannot be happy by the reason of their riches. They know that something is coming. They may lose it. You cannot be rich and have rest of mind in this world. They can come out and pretend, oh, shout, praise the Lord, God is good. Let them stop putting security men in their house now. They don't have it. They hear short of God, oh, and they believe they are going to heaven. Which heaven? They are going nowhere. God said, Judah, lead them. They will succeed. They went, they fell. These people come back to the same God, cry all day before God. They ask again, God said, go up against your brother. That's what God says, say go up. And so the children of Israel approached the children of Benjamin on the second day. And Benjamin went out against them from Gibeah on the second day and cut down to the ground 18,000 more of the children of Israel. All these draw the sword. God sent them again, they still fell. God send them again the second time, they still fell. If that God is wise, if that God is not crazy, he would have prevented this thing from happening. Why should people be dying in the name of God? Christians killing Muslims, Muslims killing Christians, religious people killing other people that don't believe in their nonsense. And you say there is God. You see grown adults telling me, no, there is God. You know, I agree with whatever you're saying, but there is God. You are stupid. For the fact you are speaking for that God shows that God does not exist. If God exists, you won't be speaking for him. He will speak for himself. You cannot speak for me. Unless I am a lunatic, I can't speak for myself. That's when you can, like when you hire a lawyer, you agreed, you sign that you are a lunatic, you are a moron. Then the lawyer will speak for you. You don't know the law, you don't know how to defend yourself. Then the lawyer will speak for you. So the only reason why any man or woman is speaking for God is because that God is dead. That God does not exist. That God is crazy. You don't allow crazy people to speak in your meeting, do you? You don't even allow them in your meeting. You speak for them. Verse 20 said, then all the children of Israel, that is all the people, went up and came to the house and wept again the third time. They sat there before the Lord and fasted. Now they added fasting. They increased the volume that day until evening, and they offered burnt offering. You see, they fasted, they begin to also give offering, burnt offering and peace offerings before the Lord. So the children of Israel inquire of the Lord. The ark of the covenant of God was there in those days. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, stood before it in those days, saying, shall I yet again go out to battle against the children of my brother Benjamin, or shall I cease? Now they give God option. Before it was, shall I go and fight? He said, they go. 2 times they fell. The 3rd time they gave him option. A God you give option is stupid. A God you give option is useless. A God you give option is not God. It's dead. It does not exist. They gave God option. He said, should I go or cease? Shall I go or shall I cease? At least if God is almighty, if God can do what they're supposed to tell them, cease, let me handle them. Let me put in them the good heart to love their brothers. Let me put peace among you. God is not a peacemaker. And they wrote the Bible, tell you, blessed are the peacemaker, for they shall become the children of God, or sons of who? A God that is not a peacemaker. How can a peacemaker be a child of that God? No, God is not a peacemaker. He's a troublemaker. He brings division. He sent his son Jesus, who also said he came to bring division. Jesus came for his father, like son. They are never for peace. They are for division. They are for trouble in families. Men asking God, shall I go up and kill my brother or stop? Do you even need to ask God that silly nonsense question? Why are you asking God whether should I go and steal? Shall I go and steal? Shall I go and kill? Shall I go and take other people's land? Hear what the Lord said to them. He said, go up, for tomorrow I will deliver them into your hand. A God that will deliver your brother into your hand cannot stop your brother from doing any evil against you. Is it not the same thing you Christians especially are still doing today? You want God to punish me. You want God to punish your brother, your sisters that is telling you what you don't like to hear. You want God to deal with them. Why can't that God make them to be the type of persons you believe they should be? Why must God deal with anyone for you to be happy? Why must God kill anyone for you? Anyone that is against you this year, they will die this year. You shout amen. You are the one that will die. You need to die because you are useless. If you are useful, you're supposed to know nobody needs to die for you to make it. The earth, the sky is too broad for 2 birds to collide. Yet you are God. Keep permitting other men to kill their brothers and sisters, even till today. You pray to God you did not see. And you say, yeah, God agree with me to go and do that. But when you hear about Boko Haram, so Fulani herdsmen, you say, no, that is evil. What if it is God that is commanding the Boko Harams to kill? What if it's the God that is commanding the Fulani herdsmen to kill Christians? Will you agree that? And they ask you in everything, give thanks. No, you begin to protest. You see the Roman Catholic Church priests begin to protest. But when they were killing Biafrans, they did not protest. They kill one priest, they begin to protest. They kill Biafrans. You did not say anything. You did not pray. Then they kill one pastor in your church, Adeboye or Oyedebo. They begin to say, I pass judgment, or let us pray. Hypocrites. Just like their God. Say, go up, for tomorrow I will deliver them into your hand. Don't serve that God. Any God that will deliver another people into another people's hand to kill should not be your God. You don't need to spend the nanosecond with that God, or to do anything in the name of that God, unless you are still ignorant. Then Israel sent men in ambush in all Gibeah, and they began to fight. They begin to kill. And when the people of the children of Benjamin don't know that these people have set ambush, they think, oh, they are defeated before us as are the force. Then they begin to kill their brothers. They kill their brethren, and they defeated them. Let me read 34 from 34. It says, so the children of Benjamin saw that they were defeated. The men of Israel had given ground to the Benjamites because they relied on the men in ambush, not on God. The men of Israel never relied on God. They relied on the men in ambush. Yet they said they prayed to God. Just as your pastors, your bishops, your popes, they never rely on the God they preach. They never rely on the God they say is almighty. They rely on their armed men. They rely on their security men. They rely on their armored car. They call it, is it Pope Mobile? Or armored car? Is it bulletproof car? They rely on them to protect them from bullets, right? Not on God. So they rely on the men in ambush, rely on the men. It is better to rely on the men than to rely on any God. It is better to rely on men than to rely on Jesus, because God and Jesus are useless. They don't exist. And the men in ambush quickly rushed up upon Gibeah. The men in ambush spread out and struck the whole city with the edge of the sword. God was watching men use sword and destroy, struck down the whole city, kill everyone in the city, except the soldiers that are still fighting. Now the appointed signal between the men of Israel and the men in ambush was that they would make a great cloud of smoke rise up from the city, whereupon the men of Israel will turn in battle. Now, they will turn like they're running away. Then the children of Benjamin will chase them and say, surely they are defeated before us as in the first battle. But when the cloud began to rise, I remember how I used to preach from this place as a preacher. Nonsense. But when the cloud of glory, I will put cloud of glory there. So but when the cloud begins to, it's not cloud of glory, it's cloud of deception. That thing you are calling cloud of glory is cloud of deception. Okay. So began to rise from the city in a column of smoke. The Benjamites looked behind them, and there was the whole city going up in smoke to heaven. The whole city. And God was watching. And the men of Israel turned back, and the men of Benjamin panicked, for they saw that disaster has come upon them. Disaster from who? From God. God using brothers against brothers. Confirming Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7. He said he's the one that does all this. Confirming Isaiah 54 verse 16. He said he's the one that created the destroyers to destroy. Wicked God. Therefore, they turned their back and they slayed these people, killed their people. They overtook the people, children of Benjamin, their brothers, and whoever came out of the cities, they destroyed in their midst. They destroyed people. They surrounded the Benjamites, chased them, and easily trampled them down as far as the front of Gibeah towards the east. They did not trample upon snake and scorpion, but upon their own brethren. Is it not the same thing you are still doing today as a Christian, as a believer? You are trampling upon your brothers, which you call unbelievers, infidels. You are trampling upon them. Instead of trampling upon snakes and scorpions, you are trampling upon your brethren. Like me, you think you can trample upon me? No, you cannot. And 18,000 men of Benjamin fell. All these were men of valor. Their warriors fell, they died. Then they turned and fled toward the wilderness to the rock of Rimmon, and they cut down 5,000 of them on the highways. Then they pursued them relentlessly up to Gideon and killed 2,000 of them. So all who fell of Benjamin that day were 25,000 men who drew the sword. All these were men of valor. They already killed all the women, all the children, and all the civilians in the city. No person remaining, but the warriors or the military men, now they killed them. Then some of them run away. Said 600 men turned and fled toward the wilderness. So the children of Benjamin only remained 600 men. And they fled to the wilderness, to the rock of Rimmon. And they stayed at the rock of Rimmon for 4 months. And for 4 months they remained there. And the men of Israel turned back against the children of Israel and struck them down with the edge of the sword from every city, men and beasts. All who were found, they also set fire to all the cities they came to. When you hear about setting fire on the city, they're talking about Africans. That's how the Romans burned down Carthage, Africans. That's how the Greeks burned down Kemet and burned down the great library of Alexandria. They did all this, even much more, to Africans. And they gave you the Bible as the word of God and tell you, love your enemies. Do not take revenge. Leave vengeance for the Lord. The Lord say it is his. Crap. So vengeance is the Lord's, not your money. Verse chapter 21, Judges. So you see what happened. Because of what a group of young men did, right? God allowed people to kill their own loved ones or their own brothers. Okay, so then the 600 men that remained, this is what happened. Now the men of Israel have sworn an oath at Mizpeh, saying, see the oath they swear. Just as many of you are swearing oath today, you go to church or your house, you are swearing an oath against what you don't want, what you will not do. Say, none of us shall give his daughter to Benjamin as a wife. I am not Benjamin, so you can give your daughter to me as wife. Okay? But see the nonsense these people swear. Is it not the same thing religious people are doing today? Is it not the same thing tribalism is doing today? Is it not the same thing racism is doing today? No, I will not give my wife, my daughter to any man from that place as wife. Especially in Africa. Why are you saying somebody from another part of Africa will not marry your daughter? Because it's a Christian, or because it's a Muslim, or because it's a Jew, or because it's poor. You have some reason saying no. Some people say, well, your daughter, I don't care. My daughter will decide who she will marry. When she sees somebody that love her, she love the person, and they say they want to marry, I'm not saying no. I'm already telling her, it's your life. Whoever you marry, you face it. You say this person is your best friend, you are joking. And if it's not working, the door is always open. Get out. Never you die for any man or any woman in any relationship or in any marriage. If it's not working, get out. You were living your life before that relationship. You were living your life before that marriage. Then why are you dying in it. Don't die in it. So that's the decision they made. They say none of them will give wife to Benjamin. Then hear what happened in verse 5. From verse 5, he said, the children of Israel said, who is there among all the tribes of Israel who did not come up with the assembly of the Lord? Who did not go to church? Who did not come to church? And that's the one we will deal with. Hear what he says. For they had made a great oath concerning anyone who had not come up to the Lord at Mizpah, saying, he shall surely be put to death. Oh, you don't come to church, bad thing will happen to you. You're supposed to be appearing before the Lord. Join the assembly of the brethren. Let us come in the presence of God. When you come to before God on Sunday, the rest of the week you'll be blessed. You'll be blessed. Nonsense. If you don't come, then the rest of the week will be horrible or terrible. And the children of Israel grieved for Benjamin, their brother. The people you kill now, you are grieving. Ngalamara, anaghị ebu ụzọ, anaghị eme eme. You kill your brothers. Now you are grieving for your brother whom you kill, and God permitted you to kill that your brother. Hear what they said. Oh, one tribe is cut off from Israel today. I thought they said God chose the tribes of Israel. So why God watch one tribe cut off? I thought they said what God joined together, let no man put asunder. But these people put asunder what God joined together. The 12th tribe God joined together. Man, put it together. The saying itself is ridiculous. How can you say what God joined together, let no man put asunder? That's nonsense. If God joins something together, you don't need to say let no man put asunder. It can never be put asunder. What is natural is natural. You can never change it. Never. No matter how a man tried to transform himself into a woman, is cut off your penis, put vagina there, you are still a man, no matter what. You say one tribe is cut off from Israel today. What shall we do for wives? For those who remain. So no woman remain. I said that before. They killed all women. They killed all children. The only one that remains is 600 men. They say, what shall we do for wives? For those who remain, seeing we have sworn by the Lord that we will not give them our daughters as wives. And God permitted that nonsense to stand. You're telling me because of a vow you made, you cannot help your brothers? You cannot do things for your own blood brothers because of the vow you made to God? You say it is your tithe. I cannot give it a tithe for who? You say you are giving it to the Lord. Which Lord are you giving it to? Say because of vow they made. They say, oh, we will not give our daughters as wives to the Benjamin. And they said, what one is there who tribe that did not come up and Mizpah? So in fact, they said the people from Jabez Gilead, they did not come to the assembly. So what is the punishment? They say, go and strike the inhabitants of Jabez Gilead, another bloodshed, with the edge of the sword, including the women and children. And you are serving this God that is watching this happening. These tribes of God send men to kill the inhabitants of Jabez Gilead with the edge of the sword, including the women and children. Go and kill old men, go and kill children, go and kill women who already know man. And this is the thing that you shall do. You shall utterly destroy every male and every woman who has known a man intimately. Kill all the men. But don't, kill all the men and kill all the women that are not virgin. So they found among the inhabitants of Jabez Gilead 400 young virgins. Remember, it's 600 men, but they found 400 young virgins. How many virgins can you be found in your church today? Yeah, like Roman Catholic Church. Put all the Roman Catholic Church worldwide together. Do you think you can see up to 400 virgins there? 400 young virgins, not 400 old virgins. 400 young virgins. You know those old virgins, they call themselves the norms, or the norm, or the Mary League, or whatever the league they are playing there. All those sisters. Nonsense. They are not virgins. All of them don't fought before, come run into convent. They call it convent. Convent, which is convent. Convent. Nonsense. So they brought those virgins. Look at where they brought him. When I was reading it, Winners Chapel was before me. He said they brought them to the camp at Shiloh, which is in the Canaan land. You know, there's Canaan land in Nigeria. And every end of the year, December, they have Shiloh there. So they brought 400 virgins there. Can you find 400 virgins in Winners Chapel? When you have your Shiloh this year, can you find 400 young virgins? 400 young virgins? Oh, man. In Shiloh, no one. Then the congregation sent word to the children of Benjamin who were at the rock of Rimmon and announced peace to them. Now you are talking of peace. After bloodshed, they begin to talk about peace. You see, you have to take, it's violence that will give you peace in this world. You want to have peace? Violence first. Without violence, you will not have peace. You see? No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. That's how they sing it in America. So Benjamin came back at that time, and they gave them the woman whom they had saved alive, of the women of Jabez Gilead, and yet they had not found enough for them. Remember, there are 600 men, and they're giving them 400 women. So 1 man, 1 woman. It was not so. That's why they created 1 man, 1 woman. Bloodshed. You know how they kill people? Kill mostly women and children. Of course, you know, men are enlisted in the army, or, you know, among the warriors. So some of them fight their way and they escape. But women and children, they're always for victims of violence or victims of war. So not enough women. And what the people say, okay, hear what they said. The elders of the congregation said, what shall we do for wives for those who remain? That's 200 men, since the women of Benjamin have been destroyed. Women have been destroyed by religion. Every religion hates women. All religion. Christianity, Islam, Judaism, they hate women. All the women of Benjamin have been destroyed. And they said there must be an inheritance for the survivors of Benjamin, that a tribe may not be destroyed from Israel. However, we cannot give them wives from our daughters, for the children of Israel have sworn an oath, saying, cursed be the man who gives a wife to Benjamin. Fuck that oath. Any oath you have the power to destroy it, whatever it is. And that's why when I'm talking to Africans, they say that ROC is like, you know, people came together and they instituted it and said that's what bind them or what represent them. And you're telling me you cannot destroy that? Of course you can. If a man made it, a man can destroy it. Any oath you have taken, you have the power to destroy that oath. Don't fear any God, don't fear anything. Nothing will happen to you. The only thing that will happen to you is what you fear. What you fear will come on you. So stop being afraid. It's like, curse be the one who gives a wife to Benjamin. It's curse only exists for religious people. There is no curse for me. No one can curse me. No one. Even if I do anything wrong, no one can curse me. Then they say, in fact, there is a yearly feast of the Lord in Shiloh. That's where Yoruba take orders. Shiloh. They do Winners Chapel. They do Shiloh every yearly. That's where they take it from the Bible. They didn't take it from Jesus, and they claim they are followers of Christ. Remember, there was no Jesus in Shiloh. He said the feast of the Lord in Shiloh, which is not of Bethel. Bethel also means the house of God, remember? On the east side of the highway that goes up from Bethel to Shechem and the south of Lebonah. Verse 23. Let me go to 23 now. He said, and the children of Benjamin did so. Oh, no, I skipped something. 13 to 14. I skipped something. Okay, hear what they said to them from verse 20. He said, therefore, they instructed the children of Benjamin, saying, go, lie in wait in the vineyards and watch. And just when the daughters of Shiloh come out to perform their dances, then come out from the vineyards, and every man catch a wife for himself from the daughters of Shiloh, then go to the land of Benjamin. That is wickedness. You instructed men to go and catch women that go for dance in the presence of God. They catch them without dowry, without paying any bride price, without consulting their parents. You just kidnap women. Kidnap. God watched it, and God permitted it to happen. He sent them, they sent them to go and kidnap women, daughters of Shiloh, to go to the land of Benjamin for them to become their wives without following the custom of the people. Then it shall be when their fathers or their brothers come to us to complain. Are you seeing the picture there? Brothers or fathers come to complain. So who do you go to see when you want to marry a woman today in Africa? You say, I'm going to see the father. Or if the father is dead, the brother. The brother will play father. They stole all this nonsense from Africa. The reason I call this one nonsense is because it's imitation. It's not the real thing. It's not just the fathers and their brothers. It's supposed to be the kinsmen. That's how Africa made it. You have to see the kinsmen. You say you want to marry somebody, it's not only the father. Kinsmen, omona, they have to be there. That's the real one. He said when they complain, we will tell them, be kind to them for our sakes, because we did not take a wife for any man of any of them in the war. For it is not as though you have given the woman to them at this time, making yourselves guilty of your oath. So instead of saying you break the oath, they planned kidnap. They kidnap your daughter and say, oh, you did not break the oath. Don't worry, you are free. Do you get the message? Do you see what these people did? You take somebody's daughter because the person already vowed he will not give his daughter to Benjamin according to the oath all of you take before God. Then you can break that oath with kidnapping. And you said a man cannot break his oath. If you know the vow, if you make the vow, fulfill your vow. No. I like those smart men, especially when they claim to be rich. They go to bazaar or they go to luncheon. You know, when church are doing luncheon, they say they promise to bring social amount of money. Go collect, they will say what? Forget, I just say that, you know, so that others will bring. It's again, they make you chairman of occasion. They tell you just make any amount of money. It's just to get money from people. Many of you don't know the game they play. I used to be a pastor, so I will tell you the game they play. They tell you, oh, in the church, they do bazaar. You see a man saying, pricing something, 50,000. You clap, 50,000, go. You go and give them 2,000 or 5,000. They say, this is how much they say this thing. Bazaar, liars, den of thieves and robbers. That's what religion and the church is. And the children of Benjamin did so. They took enough wives for their number. from those who danced. Those women, those virgins that danced, they take them, whom they caught. Then they went and returned to their inheritance, and they rebuilt the city and dwelt in them. So the children of Israel departed from there at that time, every man to his tribe and family. They went out from there, every man to his inheritance. And hear what he said. In those days, there was no king in Israel. Everyone did what was right in his own eyes. There was no king. And you said they are children of God. Likewise, there was no God. They had no king. They had no God. So they did whatever pleases them. Remember, they used to have king. They used to have God. You said God brought them out of Egypt. So they had God, right? They had leaders, Moses, Joshua. And after Joshua, other people keep coming, right? They have the priesthood, the priests. And you said because there was no king, everybody was doing whatever they want. And you believe the nonsense they said about African ancestors. They tell you that the Africans were worshiping some crazy gods. And here, the crazy God you said you believe exists, or they called your God. That God is crazy. A God that could not prevent evil, but permitted people to rise against their own brothers and sisters, kill them, kidnap them. And you telling me that God in any way is better than the God of your ancestors, or better than your ancestors? Can't you reason? Use your mind, use your brain, think. A God that allowed this to happen, bloodshed, rape, kidnapping. How can you tell me that that God is real? You cannot tell me you will be in your house and allow evil to be happening in your own house, in your full view. You cannot tell me you will allow that. There is no God allow it. It's still for good. I asked somebody that believed in the Bible, I gave him 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 3 to read. After I read it, I said, do you believe that? He said, no, it was then. I said, no. Now, if God allowed that to happen, do you still believe it's will of God? He said, yes. I don't blame him. Religion rot the brain. Believers can believe anything to be the will of God because they are sheep. Sheep follow the shepherd. Sheep don't have the mind of its own. Sheep cannot determine where to go. Sheep cannot determine where to go to eat. Wherever the shepherd take him, if the grass is not good, the sheep will manage to eat some, at least. That's why when you see them, those of us that grew up in the village, you see when you take them out to that place, you tie them down. You see some of them in the evening, you see them, about to kill themselves when they tangle themselves looking for the right grass there. Those of you that grew up in the village like me, you understand perfectly what I'm saying. Sheep can believe anything. You believe in the God that permitted, or the God that allowed this bloodshed among brethren. His choosing tribe. He allowed them to slaughter each other. Allowed them to kidnap other people's daughters. Allowed them to make unnecessary vow or taking oath. And you say that God is what to you? It's time you wake up. Wake up and do the right thing. And there are two things which I will still share with us as a message, but let me mention them. You have to revert to original. Remember, originally, you were not born with any idea of God. You were not born with any knowledge of God. God did not create you. You are born human. It's time you revert to original. You were converted. That's why you are a Christian. You were converted. That's why you're a Muslim. You were converted. That's why you're a Jew. You were converted. That's why you're religious. You have to revert to original. Go back to yourself, to your real self. If you're religious or if you have religion, you are not your real self. You are living a fake life. I will speak on that later. Revert to original. And also why I don't go to church. You should know that. I don't go to church because it's den of thieves and robbers. I don't go to church because it is a place of lies and deception. I don't go to church because it is the valley of shadow of death. I don't go to church because it's a dungeon of lies. I don't go to church because I love the truth. I mean factual truth. Some of you, it is Sunday, right? You are getting ready to go to church, or you are in the church already. Ask yourself, if that God you say you believe in is everywhere, what the hell are you doing in that church? For the fact you go to church or you go to any temple to worship on Sundays or Saturdays or Fridays or any day of the week, it shows you are delusional and hallucinating. You know not what you worship and you don't know who you serve, that you claim to be Almighty God. A God that cannot help you in your time of need is useless. It's time for you to think, or you continue thinking. I stopped thinking February 2018, and I've been thinking, and my life has been thick. My life has been better ever than before. If you look at my old pictures and look at my picture now, you see the difference. It's clear. I have rest of mind. I'm living my life, enjoying every moment of it. Of course, some thoughts come in, some challenges comes, I handle them because I am God. God cannot handle anything. People are the ones that are making God whatever they tell you that God is. Think and stop thinking. I'm calling you. If you are awakened, remember the four things I said. The awakened can never be rich. Rich, R stand for religious. I stand for insecure or insecurity. Then C stand for compromise. We don't compromise. And H stand from hiding. We don't hide. We come out. We declare it. So enjoy your life as you seek and spread knowledge of factual truth. Speak what you know, not what you believe. Peace.